We're joined now by neurosurgeon and founder of the Brain and Spine Surgeries of New York, Dr. Jack Stern. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Everybody knows that skiing can be dangerous. We all, of course, remember the accidents that Sonny Bono was killed in, as well as Michael Kennedy. But they were skiing fast, and they hit a tree. Here, this sounds like an accident. She fell down on a beginner's slope. Who hasn't done that? How hard do you have to fall and hit your head for something this horrible to happen?
Well, first of all, I don't think we should scare folks by saying that skiing is a dangerous sport, since if you look at the statistics, skiing is probably no more dangerous than any other non-contact sport. But you're quite right. Those injuries that have been reported, particularly among celebrities, have had two characteristics. One, high intensity, high velocity, high impact. And this was very different. So it's a very difficult question to answer. This is probably an issue of exactly how she fell and what she hit when she fell.
Is this the type of injury that, had she recognized immediately, we have reports that she got up, she was talking, everything was fine, she refused medical help because she had just fallen on the bunny slope after all. Had she gotten medical attention immediately, could this have been treated?
Possibly, but that is always second-guessing the situation. This is a very typical situation whereby she probably had a bleed from an impact on her head. Perhaps her head hit the ice, and the bleed was very slow.
An internal bleed, because we
Correct.
know she wasn't bleeding on the outside.
Right, exactly right. So it was probably a bleed either within her brain or between the covering of the brain and the skull.
How is that kind of minor bleed different than a concussion that so many people have gotten?
Right. Fortunately, most people concuss. And by definition, that's a neurological deficit that is very short-lived. So it reverses. But this is very different. This is probably an issue where it started out as a small bleed either in the brain or next to the brain that progressed on to compress the brain to the point where the damage was irreversible. And
for the rest of the people who may be going skiing for the next month or so, would wearing a helmet have solved this?
There's good data, particularly from the Norwegian literature and also from the British literature, that would indicate that helmets make a significant difference in preventing injuries and diminishing an injury when the impact of the injury when it happens.
All right, Dr. Jack Stern, thanks for joining us with information this morning.
My pleasure.